Excellent.
So that's the turning on part.
Yeah.
So we do the water and then this, make sure it's turned on.
Cool.
Then after we do some coffee.
Interesting.
So what we do now, we'll put one shot. So first thing you want to do, you want to make sure your handle is clean. So you don't want any of, sort of residues of water, coffee, otherwise it will get stuck. So what we do now, because we're doing a double, we use a double shot. Yep. So automatically grind and stop, and we'll give you the right dose once it's set. And all we're going to do now, we're going to make sure it's even, so that way we get an even temp. And then the other thing we do, we just temper as well. So we recommend to temper either on this angle a little bit, and also to have your arm straight, so that way you don't strain your arm and your wrist. And you also give a nice force to go down. Another thing you want to do is temper once and take it out, and that's it, and give it a clean. Don't get that habit. A lot of people do this here, tapping. It's not good, because what you do, you create channels, and basically what you do, you're just breaking the tamping down and the coffee puck, and what water is going to do is going to flow through your cracks instead of through your coffee, and it's not actually not going to extract your the oils of the coffee, and it's just going to run down, because water will find is easier way out, so it's going to go through the side or through the middle if you crack it.
Yep.
So really what you want is a nice single tamp, and that's it. So this is not the best, but we'll use anyway.
Cool.
So these are preset. What you do use normally is the last button on the right, the double. So we'll give you the right amount. So we'll give you 60 ml, but because you divide it in two, it will be 30 and 30. So we just press this, and then the machine will automatically stop. If you want, at the same time, to be quick, you can steam the milk, or you can wait until it's finished and then move on onto the steaming.
Cool.
Perfect. So we see it just gave us the right amount. So now we'll steam milk in jugs. And stop.
Yep.
We'll get that milk in a jug. What we're going to do, we want to fill up a jug sort of to half full, because obviously it's going to stretch. And generally we use this little curve here as a guide. So from the inside, that way it's right level. Another thing we do first, we want to purge the steam, because you always have a bit of milk or water sitting inside. So we purge before and after as well. So what we do now, if you come a little bit closer, what we want to do, we don't want to go down to the bottom, because you hear this screaming noise, it's not good. We want to start sort of just a little bit of a tip. So about this much down. You're good? So just enough. So we'll leave this here for Moda, so I might put it this way so you can see. So just enough the tip, and we open full. And if you can hear that sort of ripping paper sort of noise, that's what we want, and swirling around. So if I want more bubble, I'll go down again, and we'll create more air basically in the milk. Otherwise, so you go a little bit lower, keep it like that steady until it's, I feel the temperature is right. Generally on this, once it hits about 50, we'll stop, because it's going to keep creeping up, as you can see. So it keeps going up and up and up. And then we'll stop around the 60, 62 degrees, we recommend. 65 is a goal line, but we reckon a bit colder is actually nicer, because you've got the sugar in the milk that starts to dissolve and makes the milk sweet. If you go any more, it will burn it out, and then eventually it will taste bitter. Sorry, a bit of water. Another thing we do after, you can see the milk obviously sticks there because it's hot. So what we're going to do, we want to make sure we clean it straight away. That's the best way, otherwise it gets quite hard after to clean. And then obviously purge it again. So that way we clean the internal of the tube. So yeah, having it chuck here all the time is very handy. And generally we do two, because you always get coffee spillage. So one to clean the bench, one to clean just the milk line. What we do is we call it to split the milk. So basically you put half into another jug. That way you will have an even creaminess or coffee level sort of amount of basically creamer and milk in each coffee. Otherwise, the first one will be very creamy and the last one might be flat. As you get used to it and better with it, then you know you can just adjust your pour and you have a flat white or a cappuccino or latte. But we recommend to basically split the milk a little bit. So then with one you do one and then pour the milk back into the jug and finish and do the other shot. So the way we do, pour down, you do a couple of swirls and then you can just shake it left to right and it gives you a bit of sort of design. So then again, you can use this jug or you can just pour it back in here and we can do the second one. So that way you have a more even sort of coffee. That depends. If you have then an order of flat white cappuccino, then you might not need to. You do the one first, try to get more froth, and then the second one you finish it. Yeah. So otherwise, yeah, you just split the milk, makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
Not enough milk. Sorry. Oh, just. Also, when you finish making the coffee, is try to leave this clean if you're not too busy. So, and what we do say is basically empty this. So you give it a bit of a clean, and then you flush your handle just a little bit, and then you can leave this inside here. So that way it stays warm, but the coffee doesn't sit in there. Because if you leave it there for quite a long time, the coffee will dry out and the machine will burn and then it will stick to it. So this way, there's not coffee sitting there and getting burned. It makes it easier at the end of the night to sort of clean it. And that's it. So that's a process of cleaning, or making coffee, sorry. So cleaning process, what we do, we'll change the basket to a blind basket, so basically no holes. So we'll remove this one and we'll put the blind. And first what we want to do, we're just going to give a bit of a flush to the machine. One thing I recommend, because you can splash a bit of water if you use something in your hand, so that way if it splashes, doesn't touches your hand. So what we do, we can use the manual if you want. And what we want to do, we just want to splash a little bit of water, just a little bit, to just clean the top. And then next step, what we do, we use an espresso cleaner or a caffetto cleaner, and we use a spoon or half a spoon. So there's a little powder, and what we do, we'll lock it in, and what we do, we'll press it and wait for about 6 to 10 seconds to pressurize, and then we'll release the pressure. As you can see, it's foaming at the back, so it's starting to clean. I recommend to do a couple of shots. You can do it quickly, go through the process, but my suggestion is to actually, once you've done a couple of times, to just leave it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. As you give that solution enough time to break through the coffee rather than wash it quickly. So what you do this, and then you walk, go away, you start cleaning other things, then so 2 minutes have come past. So you go back, press it again, wait about 10 seconds, so you can hear the machine's going under pressure, just will release. And generally after a day of, busy day, you'll notice that this water is quite brownish, because obviously the oils are dissolving and they're coming through. And you repeat this process about 10 times, just enough to give, to go through that solution. And once you finish, again, we'll probably put, something around the hands if you can. It just helps not getting burned.
Yeah.
And then we'll remove this. This will be a lot cleaner, obviously, because the water will have dissolved through that solution. And we'll give a couple more flushes back to just give, clean that, and then we'll lock it. And we'll do a couple more times. So what that way does, it just removes the remaining solution that was inside, and we just leave it overnight. So you can do one group at a time, so that way in closing time you can still serve out of one group and clean one, and then once you finish, then you close completely.
Cool.
And that's it. And then the rest is obviously drip trays and things to clean. So all easy. Another thing actually that you can do is to clean this. Is once you finish doing the cleaning, if you have a big container, you soak this with the basket inside a water container. You get some hot water out of the machine, just enough to, not the handle, just the metal part, and then you put 1 or 2 spoons of this. What it does, it will dissolve all this coffee stain, so you need to scrub it, and then half an hour, or you can leave overnight, and then the next morning you just rinse them and then clean like new.
Cool.
Alright?
Yeah.
Insert it back. Good.